So, what interested you about the Mash Festivals proposal?
The Mash Festivals proposal, I think, is the interest around social media and how we can develop that and how we can use it, and obviously the things that you're doing are at the cutting edge of social media, and it's the information for an event like Shambala. Obviously, we have a vast number of people in a small space enjoying the event, but communication is something that really sort of 10-12 years ago when we started the whole process, there wasn't really any vision of being able to do what we can do now with social media and communication technologies. So I think the natural meeting of ourselves, obviously knowing you through Gibbering and Blowback magazine and different things previously, and that was the attraction really, was actually just try and do more with the social media stuff, pre and post event, but then sort of most importantly for me, I'm kind of excited about what we can develop on the site, so that the communication of changes in programs, or like you were saying before, how clean the different toilets are, whatever it may be, like that's the really exciting thing, what we can develop over the next few years, hopefully.
Because there's that element, and there's also the sort of reporting and recording the festival as well.
Yeah.
I mean, you've already had Flickr in place and videos and things like that, but do you think it's an important thing to be able to capture a festival and sort of...
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I think Shambala's perspective is slightly different to other events. We never have, and are not really interested in pushing ourselves through the media, but it is capturing different testimony, whether it be video, photo, audio. Just as a record, really, and it's a word of mouth event anyway. And obviously, the social media setup these days allows us to use that word of mouth a lot more effectively. So yeah, it's that kind of gathering, for years we have had Flickr accounts and people have uploaded photos and what have you, but the sort of having the Mash Festivals set up on site, just without being intrusive, it's more proactive, actually sort of looking for the stories within the event and getting behind the scenes, and so rather than it just being from a viewed perspective, from a punter's perspective, it's also a behind the scenes perspective of what might be going on from the stages, but also sort of most importantly for a temporary event such as Shambala, like some of the most interesting things sort of happen on the site side and the production side of things. So that sort of to capture that activity as well, is something that's very, very appealing.
Because Shambala's always had a strong feeling of community as well, and the whole idea of the people of Shambala and all that kind of thing. It's almost like the technology can sort of assist that.
Yeah, definitely. I think there's a fine line in it. The technology, it's very exciting what you can do with the technology, and we've done all sorts of things in the past, from flash mobbing to sort of people just using Flickr accounts to gather up photos and what have you. But and we are very excited about what we can potentially do with it, but then we also need to watch the fine line of the fact that people generally come to festivals, or certainly go to Shambala, to be part of a community that is in some ways removed from urban modern society and way of life, so we don't want to be too intrusive with things, but if it can be fun and it can be informative, then there is a balance to strike there, and I think it can be for a large part of the community that really get a lot out of that communication, and just to enhance the experience again. I mean, that's, as organisers, that's continually what we try and do when we evaluate and plan for subsequent years. It is just about trying to make the experience better on the whole, whether that be fighting to get campfires back into the event, which we achieved this year for the first time in about 7 years, to giving people information on what's happening on the stages. It is just about enhancing the experience. So yeah, there's lots that we can do with social media.
I mean, it's part of the appeal that someone like Mash Festivals approached you instead of, say, Vodafone or Orange, sort of.
Yeah, I mean, certainly Shambala is an independent festival, and it's no sponsorship and it's no marketing, and there's just no way that we'd hook up with one of the big companies in that way. It is something that is very important to us. It's to keep a distance from that corporate side of things, to be an alternative, to escape for a few days to the countryside and not to have advertising rammed down your throat every corner you turn, etc., etc. So very important that it's an independent approach rather than a corporate approach.
And how did you feel about the footage that was gathered by the press gang?
I think the press gang stuff went brilliantly well, to be honest. It's just great to engage teenagers. They're always the kind of sort of forgotten demographic of events, really. And some of the stuff that all the stuff that I've seen and they've put together, it's been really, really good. Very, very good questions asked, very good photos shot, and just really, really good to see sort of some of these teenagers getting a real buzz and being inspired by their press gang volunteering. It was excellent, really good.
Is there anything about the process that you'd like to see done differently or improved?
The process of the press gang, or
the process of Mash Festivals overall. Sort of chatted about it.
Yeah, I mean the stuff that we have chatted about. I mean, obviously year one this year there was problems with internet connections and things like that, and I think the whole sort of focus of it for me and for us really is to make things happen in real time as much as possible over the weekend, so that as people are taking photos and taking commentary, that information is going up, but then also that there is live feeds as far as stuff that is changing or stuff that might be coming up or happening on site. It's that real-time process that's really like the finger on the pulse. That's where I'd like to see it develop, so that it becomes the oracle for what's actually going on or changing at the event, and or not to be missed, or I think that should be the focus really for me, because that's what we've now got the opportunity to do with the new technologies that do exist, and are getting better and better month on month. It really is incredible the rate at which sort of media technology continues to change. Who knows where we'll be in a few years' time.
So it's taken as a given then that Mash Festivals, you'd like to see them back next year?
Yes, definitely. I think it's been a good hook-up for both of us, and one that I can see developing into a long and fruitful relationship.
Thank you.